What's going on, collectors? Welcome into Ross Loves Cards. Today, I'm going to be doing a little bit different video. I'm going to be talking about a mail day that I had today. As you can see, it's a magazine. So I thought, since this is a card channel, I'll show a card that's semi-related to it. This is the 1994 SI for Kids Hakeem Olajuwon card. Now, it didn't come in this magazine. This magazine didn't come with cards. But I just thought, cool card to go with this theme today. Here today, I've been kind of having a rougher day with my inflammation disorder. I'm on crutches. And after I dropped my boy off at school, I came home and I read for a couple hours in that book, The Last Boy, about Mickey Mantle. And I thought, you know what? I'm tired of sitting here with my foot up. I'm going to go to the mailbox. So I go down to the mailbox. I get down to the mailbox on crutches, and I think, how am I going to carry anything back? I didn't bring a backpack. I usually would, but anyways, sure enough, there was a big box and then an envelope holding this. The big box actually was a card, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So we get back, hobble up here, taking my sweet time, moving a foot at a time, trying to hobble on crutches and not drop my boxes. I get in here. I get them open. The card I got is a sweet card. It's a $30 card. I'll share it with you another time, but the other thing I got was the magazine that I showed you in the thumbnail, or that you've seen in the thumbnail. The 1996 January issue of Sports Illustrated for Kids, or SI for Kids for short. But this magazine, I tell you what, I absolutely love it. I remember, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, I seen on Instagram, is it a Nomad Collector? A Nomad Collector, Jay, posted a magazine. And I thought, man, that's cool. I need to start hunting up me some. So I started looking for like 1950s baseball magazines, and I couldn't find anything. And then I thought, well, Ross, what is it that you really, when you think of a magazine, what would you want? And I remember back to third grade, when my third grade teacher put this magazine in the reading rack. I was already a fan of Hakeem Olajuwon then. I just started playing basketball that year, was a post player. I'm assuming the card shop guy got me onto Hakeem Olajuwon. Since I played post, he thought that'd be a good fit. And I tell you what, I never turned back from that. There's times I hadn't collected, but if I was going to collect basketball, it was going to be Hakeem Olajuwon. And I love on the front part, who's the most amazing athlete? Houston Rocket, Hakeem Olajuwon. Not basketball player, not center, but athlete. I tell you what, I really get behind a magazine like this. Of course, that was just for the year 1995, and we know Jordan hadn't come back. Hakeem Olajuwon just came off of 2 finals. One of them he was MVP of, I believe. And anyways, I just remember going by that rack in third grade and seeing that rocket on him. I wasn't much of a reader in third grade, but I'd go look at all these pictures in here. And going back through this magazine just kind of brought back those memories. You open the cover. One of my favorite baseball players, the Big Hurt right there, doing a card ad. And looky here. Donruss is numbering cards. Dreams do come true. Or wishes do come true, I'm sorry. There's another ad I want to show you. How about this cap ad? If this picture of Charles Barkley doesn't make you want to go grab a basketball cap, I guess it would be, you may have something wrong with you. That's just an awesome picture of Charles Barkley. Also, one of my favorite running backs, Emmitt Smith, and a starter pullover. I tell you what, I think I've seen some places starting to sell these again. Those are just awesome. I don't know why the Charlotte Hornets was the one that was most popular seen. But I had some Houston Rockets starter jackets. Well, it was mainly just to pull over. They didn't have the zip. It wasn't the actual coat. But also what I thought was neat about this, I looked all over this ad. Notice, there's no website. Just funny how times have changed. Well, I guess people don't even get magazines much anymore either. But now I want to get to the center of this magazine, or close to the center. Of course, it starts off with, in this section, the most amazing athlete of the year. Boy, magazines are a lot harder to see around than cards. Then it goes over, have another page. In the center section is this sweet poster. You can pull this poster out and put it on your wall. I was talking to a fine card collector, and he was asking me where I was going to put it in my bedroom. I may do it. I told him if wife didn't go for that, I may put it in my kid's bedroom. But if I do that, I won't have these stat sheets. And there's a shot of Rodman and Hakeem down there. The number 2, Greg Maddux. He won the 4th straight Cy Young Award and helped his Braves in the series. You got to go all the way to number 3, page 3, to get to Michael Jordan. And, of course, it says the greatest player in NBA history returned to the court and picked up where he left off. And that's fair to say. But the next page really hit me in my memory section. What do you, nostalgia nerve? Or I loved seeing this Ripken. I remember growing up, I had a Super Nintendo with Cal Ripken baseball. I pulled up some pictures of the screenshots of them, what the system looked like, and kids are missing out today. I mean, that was just an awesome game. I had a lot of fun on it. And I remember, me and my family, we didn't watch baseball much, but, well, probably because we only had just a few channels and there was only a certain amount of games was on. But was able to see Ripken get this record. And, I remember these numbers or whatever that is on that brick wall. I know it's numbers, but I don't know if they're lights, banners with lights on them. But I remember seeing that, it was in the mind of a kid. It seems like, my memory, those was lit up more. It was a darker night, darker background behind it. But I just thought that was an awesome memory. I remember I was laying in bed. Mom came to sit on my bed with me to watch it. And, just an awesome memory. How great things like that were. Of course, then they got the Steve Young and Jerry Rice on the next page. Got Shaq in there. Got Monica Seles and Steffi Graf for tennis. Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. And here's another guy, Michael Johnson. I know in '96, boy, I was all about the Olympics, and he put on a show. I guess Sports Illustrated for Kids seen that coming. I didn't know anything. I guess I should have been reading. I didn't know much about him until the Olympics started. And, just getting this, going through this magazine, made me think how much I love sports. How much I love, the history of the game. It's bad to say 1996 is becoming history, I mean, what is that, 30 years ago? Yeah, this magazine's 30 years old. And, just makes me want to go back and collect some more stuff. I'm sure I probably do in old binders at home. Maybe not, I'm not sure. May have a Cal Ripken card. But, I kind of hate to go look at some of them old binders I've got at my mom and dad's house just to see how well I took care of cards and So I'm kind of scared to go look, or scared what's in there and what's not. And I will one of these days, but I may need to get a Cal Ripken card. Remind me of that video game and that time my mom came in and watched part of that game with me. But this magazine right here, free poster included, whether I hang it up or not. It was just a great hobby day. You know, like I said, I wasn't feeling good, and I went and got this in the mail. You know what? I started kind of feeling better, you know. Just funny how things will perk you up. Being on YouTube, watching videos, commenting on videos, interacting with people. But sorry if you're not into Sports Illustrated for kids, but you just can't hardly beat a cover like that. I appreciate y'all listening, and I hope to see you in the next one.